Hi and welcome. I am Oracle Asherah. This is an angel guided energy reading for everyone for the month of February. Okay, so let's dive in, see what the guidance and messages are for us this month. Okay, our first card, no judgment. Okay, so when our perception is from a place of judgment, we are really hard on ourselves. Okay, so what this card is asking is for you to have more compassion for yourself, which allows freedom for forgiveness and growth. Okay, so when we shift this within ourselves, this also shifts our perception of our relationships, people, and the world. Okay, so we need to be aware that judgment is not our job, it's God's job. So that is a responsibility that is not for us. What is for us is to have compassion and understanding for ourselves and others, because we're all in a journey. We're all having an adventure through life. So what we should be doing is encouraging and loving each other to do better, to have conscious and awareness to be better. Okay, so if you want a job, be more active and loving and supportive with how we involve ourselves towards ourselves and outwardly to everybody else. Okay, so put down that gabble and stop being so hard on yourself. And that's going to really lighten the responsibility of the soul and of yourself, because we're here to experience, learn, and grow. Okay, if we're doing that with the limits of fear and judgment, we're not going to move very far. Okay, so life is something that allows us to learn lessons. So if you're afraid to live life, again, you're not going to get very far. So being fearful of the word sin is going to be limiting, because if everything is a sin, you're not going to be very much involved in your lessons and engaging with the world and each other. And that's important. We need to engage with the world and each other, because therefore we're now actively more as a community, right? I find that's very lacking. Our vision of what community is now is pretty toxic. We blame society for a lot of things, but we are society. So when we correct this within ourselves, we also correct this in our environments. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind this month. Okay, level up. All right, it's pretty straightforward. This is asking you to level up in your perception, level up in your choices and actions. Okay, when you're conscious and you're choosing better, your life is going to start reflecting that. Okay, so sometimes you have to face your fears, do the work, have the courage to do so. Leveling up isn't always easy. You have to make the choice of action and do the work. Okay, difference a day makes. All right, again, if you're not familiar with this card is asking you to take a step back, allow the storm to pass, allow things to play out for themselves, allow truth to present for itself. Whatever information you think you're seeking, allow it to come to you rather than seek truths, right? Let the truth come to you. Have faith and trust in the process, and not forcing this hand. So quite often we are responsive to our feelings and thoughts, but allowing the storm to pass, truth to present, and the information we need to be more clear, we're going to act and navigate our life with better wisdom. Okay. All right, let's see what else is going on. Lighten your load. Okay, so shifting your perception and not judging yourself and being more compassionate for yourself in your journey, you are going to lighten this load. Okay, we are carrying a lot of concern, a lot of unnecessary. So how do we free up ourselves? Forgiveness. Okay, compassion for what we're learning, forgiveness for what has happened, and being more conscious and aware within the choices you're making in the present moment. So being present, being loving in the present, being calm and collective in the present is definitely going to allow things to play out for you much more smoother, much more in alignment. Okay. If we're navigating life from a fear-based mentality, right? So if things are encouraging you to move through fear, from a place of fear, that's very low frequency, that's very low vibration. Okay, it's really hard to be positive and be loving when you're navigating from a fearful place. So if something doesn't make sense, ask yourself better questions and come from a more compassionate and loving place than a fear-based place. When you're speaking fearful language to each other, people are going to shut down. They're not going to listen to you. Okay, so when you come from a loving, compassionate place, people are going to be more engaging and willing to hear what you have to say, as well as learn. Okay. Okay. Dreams. All right. All right. So dreams, imagination. Right. Okay. If we don't have dreams as goalposts, we're not going to bring miracles or find the courage to try things we haven't done, right? So follow your dreams, follow the guidance within. The imagination is important because it now creates a world where anything can happen. If we're limited by our fears and our insecurities and what we've learned, again, not much is going to happen, not much is going to change. So this place of dreams and imagination is infinite, right? So what a better place to explore than the limits of fear-based and limited experiences. Okay, so we need to get out of this loop and out of this mindset. All right, so be more imaginative and more playful with your life. Think bigger, dream bigger. Okay, prosperity, nice. So for okay, alignment to your prosperity takes conscious and awareness, and also your prayer and changing your frequency. Okay, so if you're fear-based, you're not going to be in alignment. When you're loving and creative and making movement, God will assist you, but God has to find you working. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Make some room. Inner journey, right? Okay. Shadow work is difficult. We all avoid it, but it's important to free up your heart, brain. Okay, so if you are constantly bombarded with looping stories, looping traumas, you're listening to respond, not listening to release, we're just continuing this inner loop. So we need to have the courage to listen to that inner child, and that's yesterday to birth. Okay, your past self, now to present to birth. Everything that soul has been learning and carrying, that load, isn't always necessary. So we have a lot of survival skills we've learned and picked up. Sometimes those are limiting and blocking our growth because we're hanging on to survival skills. So we need to be present and parent ourselves, nurture ourselves, love the self, right? So we do need discipline. We need consistency in practicing what we preach. Practicing makes permanent. Okay, so we need to be adulting in this manner, and we also need to be loving and nurturing and forgiving the lessons and the life lived to this point. Okay, so lightening that load will definitely make the next moment and the future easier because we're not carrying this burden. When we experience and hang on to our emotions, we're bearing that into the body, and that lives in our cells. It lives in our fat cells. Okay, so if you're having difficulty with weight, depression, okay, so this is all buried and stored information. So we need to allow compassion, forgiveness, and love. So love all those wounds, love all those mistakes, love what you've learned, okay, and allow that to shift perspective for you. Okay, do the work. I promise you it's worth it. Self-love is the answer for that, absolutely. Okay, so taking the time to do this work. So meditation is listening to the self, and prayer is charging the frequency of the self. So those are two things you might want to incorporate in this next coming month, and just to see how things shift for you. Okay. Meditation isn't limited to sitting on a pillow. Okay. There's moving meditation like going for a walk, yoga, exercise, going to the gym. That frees up the body, gets the mechanics moving, which also frees the brain, right? So all this activity is a form of meditation, all right? So be creative in connecting with that, okay? Okay. We have burden. Okay, so burdens are not easy to move through because we cling to that. We cling to that fear, that emotion, that knowledge, that wisdom. We don't always know what to do, right? But not letting it root into your body and root into your cells and root into your thoughts and your emotions is important. Allow these burdens to come up, and instead of creating validation for these burdens and feelings, let's allow it just to come out and express itself. So that means if you need to yell, scream, cry, go for a run, whatever it does to get it out of the system is important, because we are quite often silencing our emotions, shutting down our emotions, telling our mind to shut up. But these things are coming up because it's important for it to be released. Okay, so it's important also not to pack it with confirmation of, yeah, that sucks, that keeps happening to me, right? So change the inner dialogue. Be like, I hear you. Let's cry. Okay, and really do. Like, just allow your body to express however it needs in order for that release to happen. No shame, no judgment. Okay. Moving into balance, right? Exactly. This is just confirmation for what I'm saying. Moving all these energies into a place of balance. That's where clarity is going to come in. That's where your soul and yourself is going to feel safe within the self. And things are just going to shift and be different for you. Okay. Right? Holding space for the energy of a new day. Okay. Every moment is an opportunity to be different, to think different, to act different, to love different. Okay? We don't have to continue as we are. And if you don't have the courage to try something different, nothing is going to change. So you have to look at your habits, your belief systems. What's limiting? What is allowing this to stay the same? Okay? You need to do a lot of self-evaluation, a lot of self-questioning. Right? This card card saying unlimited possibilities, right? In a world of infinite potential, and anything can happen. In a world you can be anything. You need to really grasp this concept. You're not limited to your experiences. You're not limited to your wounds. You're not limited to your belief systems. Okay? Those are your belief systems this far. You need to investigate, explore, get excited about the unknown. Okay? That's not to be feared. Okay? Honoring your energy. So, boundaries is a big one. When people are coming at you with energies that don't suit how you're feeling or your world, your home, your day, boundaries. You'd be like, I'm not interested in this conversation. Shut it down. You could be noting your situation, and maybe next time not hanging out with this person, or changing the environment with this person, or just with your consciousness and awareness, create boundaries that are better suiting your energies, right? If you find yourself on a path and it's toxic and harmful, be brave and change that situation. That could be a job, that could be a relationship. Those are big things that we cling to because we think we need. We obviously engaged in these things because we so desperately feel that this is for me. I picked this, or I need this, right? When you're open to infinite possibilities, you might become in alignment with a better job. You need to free yourself of that relationship to be healing, and healed yourself to attract a better relationship, right? So sometimes we need to be really honest with ourselves and be like, is this my best life? Am I living my best life right now? And if not, look at how that could shift. What would I want different? And what would it take to get there, right? This card, level up, is coming up for this message, okay? So to level up, you need to have the strength and the courage to let go of what you think you need and be in alignment with what you need for real, okay? And not pick. Allow it to come into alignment to you. So that means holding the frequency of your dreams and trusting the process. When we walk through life holding this dream, pining this dream, but we're like, oh, you're the dream, you just showed up today. Or angel numbers happen to appear today, and you must be it, right? So sometimes we misread things, we get excited about things, we pick things. So if there are signs and it's right, those signs will continue to guide you along that way. So we have to be careful not to be picking and choosing and cherry picking situations and people because they look like what we think we want, rather than it showing to be exactly what we want. Okay, and that takes time. That takes not rushing things, not forcing things, and having the courage to be still sometimes, because sometimes we think, oh, if I don't grasp this right now, it's going to be gone. And if that is the case, that's not for you. Okay, so you have to have the courage to have the grace to let things go by, right? If we grasp everything because it's right in front of us, you're just creating a lot of chaos and unnecessary. So letting things pass by, or even pass by and come back, right? So we need to have the strength to be within our sovereign self and allow things to dance around us sometimes and present to be, right? And then sometimes that doesn't look like what I want, and you might be judging it, right? But it actually is for you, but your judgment is allowing you to have misperception of what is for you because it doesn't exactly look like how you wanted it. Okay, so again, allowing that time for that to present itself and for you to fall in love with and create the roots of exactly what you want in your dreams. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So this card reads, if you get nervous, focus on the service. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? The law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. Okay, so that's exactly what I was just talking about. That frequency of holding space for your dreams and allowing it to be attracted to you. Okay, so allowing the healing to happen, focusing on the self-love, being very mindful of the energies around you, so holding the responsibility and keeping your life sacred, okay, will allow that alignment to happen for you. Allow spirit and the laws of attraction to work for you. So you're not forcing this hand, you're trusting and leaning into your faith, okay? I love that. Okay, we have emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity, for it's a gift to us all, right? So when you have compassion for yourself and your journey, and you are loving and forgiving like a child for yourself, you're also holding that space and frequency for people around you, okay? That doesn't, okay, unconditional love doesn't mean suffering, okay? But unconditional love with boundaries holds space for other people's healing in their journeys. Okay, you don't have to take on their stuff. But when you honor deeply yourself, you're going to honor deeply other people's experience also. And that's important. That's making the world a better place. All right, we have heart chakra. The answer you seek is in your heart right now. Be open and giving to receiving love. Right? That love frequency. Love and view the world like a child. Play and create like a child. Forgive and move on like a child. Okay, this allows people to hear, learn, grow, and change. So if we don't allow that for ourselves and others, we're just blocking and shutting down with fear and judgment. And that's stagnant. That's creating toxicity. Okay? Okay. I feel like playing with one more deck of cards here. Okay, release your ex. Okay, so I'm going to branch that out to release your traumas. Okay, the story, all these stories. If you're constantly hanging on to the stories, you're going to be attracting like lessons in order to free yourself of these stories. Okay, so doing that work of freeing those wounds, that toxicity that's sitting in your cells, that's navigating life as a red flag, okay, that's limiting your experience of self-love and love for others. So it's time to release that toxicity within the self. Okay, stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Exactly. So when you do this healing work and now your frequency is more love and loving, you're going to notice a shift in your relationships and how people are going to be really attracted to your light. Okay, like moths to the flame. You're really bright, you're really shiny, you're glowing. What is that about? They're going to be attracted to you. Okay, but also have grace. Not everyone and everything's for you. Don't become a predator and start surfing all these people and opportunities, right? Because that's going to fill your garden with a bunch of lessons, possible other issues, okay? So being able to be shiny and boundaries, protecting your energy, allow things to present, and you don't have to look at the red flags because spirit will show you. If you lean into your faith, you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. All right, so this is building a stronger relationship within yourself, your higher self and spirit, and holding the vision, trusting the process here, right? Leaning into faith, And when your heart is pining this frequency, you are going to attract a lot. Okay? Doesn't mean everything's for you. So discernment in what presents, and allow yourself to learn, but do it in a way without attachment. Okay? So that means keeping your love, your sex, and your space sacred. Okay? So take your time. Take your time. All right. It's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, right? So it's safe. This is something you need to tell your cells. You're safe. You are safe to love and be loved. Okay, so that might be something you really want to adapt into your meditation, into your consciousness, that I'm safe. Because usually with trauma and wounds, we do not feel safe, and we shut down and we isolate. All right, that's not going to help your frequency. That's going to attract lessons, which is also going to make life harder and continue to be hard. So it's important that we do this work to be that frequency of love, to be safe, to be loved, and bring that energy in. Okay, we can't be fearful and loving at the same time. Well, you can, but the heart needs to be pining that love energy. You need to be that frequency. All right, my friends. I wish you all a great month, and I'll see you for the weekly readings.